win over the Twins. Next up, a date with the AL West best, the Angels, opening a 6-game homestand here in Cleveland. Fausto Carmona will try to cool the Halos' bats and get his first win since May in the process, as the Tribe and the Angels tangle next on Sports Time, Ohio. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning here at Progressive Field. Indians-Angels hook up as the Tribe kicks off this homestand. The Angels have been a team on a tear, but the Indians are probably playing their best baseball this season right now as well.
Well, there's no question. Since July 23rd, you can see the Angels are only trailing the St. Louis Cardinals. Not far behind are the Cleveland Indians at 14-8. So a couple of tough teams. They had a good series out in L.A. when the Indians were there, although they did win the series 2 out of 3. The Indians fought them tough. And offensively, this has been a juggernaut that has really stepped up. This is a team that can hit for power. This is a team that can steal bases. They're very well balanced. And when we went out there were a couple guys hurt when you look at Guerrero and Hunter that are back in the lineup. And since they were playing 500 ball in mid-June, they have really turned it on, averaging 7 runs a ball game, hit 90 home runs, and they have been playing very well.
8 of the 9 Angel starters are hitting above 300. The light hitter in the group is Mike Napoli at 297. So Fausto Carmona definitely has his work cut out for him here tonight, but he has pitched well, especially here at home, since coming back from the DL.
The one thing that Fausto may have to do against this ball club, about 50% of the time he's been letting the leadoff man get aboard. You don't want that to happen against the Angels. He's been very good, though, when he's gotten runners on base and also in scoring position. We'll see if he can do that tonight. Going up against Trevor Bell, a guy filling in, making only his second major league start.
Bell more of a control pitcher. Meanwhile, Carmona, he's 0-1, but the Indians are 2-1 in his 3 starts here at home. We're back with the play-by-play action coming up next. Downtown Cleveland, temperature right around 79 degrees. As we get ready for the Tribe and the Angels, Indians take the field behind right-hander Fausto Carmona. Let's take a look at the Angels starting lineup. Under manager Mike Scioscia, Sean Figgins leading it off, then Bobby Abreu, Juan Rivera batting third. Vladimir Guerrero back in the lineup, batting .370 in a dozen games, so he's picked right up. Henry Morales batting fifth. Torrey Hunter also back in the lineup for the Angels. Then Maicer Izturis, Mike Napoli, and Eric Ibar rounded out.
Fausto Carmona making start number 16 this year. His 4th start since his recall from the minor leagues. He is 0-1 since that recall in his last 3 starts, but the Indians are 2-1. The amazing thing, he's got a very good ERA, 265. It seems like the leadoff man have been getting aboard when he's going out of the full windup. He's been doing a great job coming out of the stretch. You just like to see him not as much in the stretch with this club that you're facing tonight. We'll see what will happen. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by the Indians Team Shop at South Park Mall in Strongsville. It's Carroll in left field. Sizemore is in center. Chu is in right. Peralta at third. Cabrera at short. Valbuena at second. Marte at first. And Torregas behind the plate.
This is a defense that has committed the fourth fewest number of errors in the American League. Bill Miller to call the balls and strikes. Darrell Cousins, the crew chief, at first. Jim Joyce at second. And Angel Campos down at third. So the Angels come into this game rolling, and they have been on a roll for quite some time. They've won 21 of their last 28 games, and they are truly a balanced team. 36 wins, 22 losses at home, and Mike Scioscia's club, 35 wins, 23 losses on the road.
Yeah, 20 out of their last 26 they've won on the road, and only two teams in the American League, them and the Yankees, have a winning road record.
So the Angels come in here tonight looking to maintain their stranglehold on the American League's Western Division lead. They start the night 4.5 games in front of Texas. Fausto Carmona's first pitch right down Broadway for a called strike. Indians, meanwhile, 11 games off the pace in the Central Division. Behind Minnesota, who is suddenly slumping. They've lost 3 in a row now. Twins just 56 and 62 on the year. Pitch to the outside corner, a called strike, and it's 0-2 on Sean Figgins. Figgins has been a terrific table setter for the Angels. He's gone 3 for 12 against the Indians this year.
Well, he's pretty much their spark plug. And we mentioned it when we were out in L.A. You got to try to keep this guy off base, which they did a good job out there. And when you can do that, then it gives you a little breathing room when you have to pitch the bigger hitters.
Took a little something off, but Figgins able to fight it off. Remains a ball and 2 strikes. Figgins, then Bobby Abreu and Juan Rivera here in the first. Missed outside, 2-2. Figgins coming off a 4-hit performance on Sunday, in which he recorded his 1,000th career Major League hit. That's outside, full count. So from 0-2 to 3-2. Figgins is only one of 7 players to get all 1,000 of his career hits as an Angel. Now Carmona with the payoff pitch. And it's high, ball 4. So he had him down on the count, couldn't put him away. And the leadoff man aboard via the walk.
That's walk number 52 for Fausto. And you'll get to see, because now this is one of your more patient hitters in the league, and you've got a guy that can run at first base who has stolen 37 out of 50. He has been caught 13 times, which is a lot, but he's a guy that continues to run, as do the Angels.
They like to keep the pedal to the metal when they have the opportunities.
Well, they've been caught the most as a team, 46 times. But they've also stolen the second most, right behind Tampa Bay.
Ball 1, it's outside to Abreu. Now, for what it's worth, Carmona, in his 3 starts since getting the call back from the minor leagues, when a runner is on base, the opposition is just 6 for 39 against him.
Yeah, he's done a fine job out of the stretch. Once he gets on and once people get into scoring position, I don't know if a bell goes off or something kicks in.
Here goes Wyatt Torregas out to the mound. As Carmona, after getting ahead of Figgins 0-2.
He didn't want to talk much, did he? Carmona knows exactly what he has to do.
Bobby Abreu, 5 hits and 9 at-bats against the Indians in that series in Anaheim.
What a sign this was for him.
Boy, you're not kidding.
He brought a little stability
to this lineup because he's one of the few Angels that will take pitches.
Big chopper, it's wide of the mark, and it's into right field. And around second on his way to third is Figgins. Angels at the corners with nobody out.
Well, that's what happens. He had a 2-0 count, and all Abreu was doing, instead of being patient, he was shooting for that hole to shoot first and third. Watch him go out and hook this ball. He was thinking that all the way. He was shooting for that hole. You see him cheat a little bit on it. It was a pitch. The reason why he was able to do it, it was up. So he gets a base hit. They have runners at first and third.
And that will bring up Juan Rivera. 19 home runs, 69 runs batted on the year. His 19th homer came Sunday. And he looks at ball one.
Well, this Angel team also, we might as well tell you, if we're going to give you the numbers, they are leading baseball with runners in scoring position, a .312 batting average, which is outstanding.
And this guy's a big reason why. He's hit .358 with runners in scoring position. And when you put him in the middle of this lineup with the table setters who can get on in front of him, it makes for a lot of RBI chances.
It's funny how this lineup has changed.
Ground ball to short.
That's what he needed.
6-4-3 on the double play. Angels take the lead as Figgins scores, but now two are out.
Boy, exactly what he needed. He needed the ground ball at him. He got it. And that ball, it was just I guess a sinker, had natural movement on it, and he tops it. Going to hit it right to Cabrera. An easy double play. But the Angels get on the board. It is now 1-0.
Boy, that almost looked, too, Rick, like another example of how a pitcher doesn't have to make a perfect pitch.
Well, I know. He doesn't. And what we don't see here is the movement late that's coming into the zone that makes you top it and things like that.
Vladimir Guerrero missed that series against the Indians when the Tribe was out west, but in his career, a .295 hitter against Cleveland. You could probably say that about every team in baseball, though. There aren't many teams and many pitchers this guy doesn't hit. This is driven deep to center field and off the fence. And Guerrero lumbers into second base with a 2-out double.
He's starting to crank it up and warm it up. He was hurt there for a while with the knee injury, 413th career double in his 9th this year. But this guy can hit anything. I watched him Friday night on a replay hit a ball that bounced in front of home plate and got a base hit on in Baltimore. I'm not joking. It was a foot in front of the plate. So he can hit anything, anywhere you throw it.
Well, his career's far from over, but he's one of only 6 players to have a .320 or better career batting average and 400 career home runs.
That's hard to do.
And you look at the names on that list, and it's ridiculous. Jimmy Fox, Lou Gehrig, Stan Musial, Babe Ruth, Ted Williams. How's that for company?
High average and a lot of power. It's amazing. And this guy at one time was an outstanding defender, too, before his knees. Had a great throwing arm. His days in the outfield are numbered.
Kendry Morales checks on a ball down low. 1-1 the count.
And could steal bases, too, at one time.
That's a good point. Now, Morales is another guy who has swung a very hot bat this year.
This guy has been outstanding for him. 26 homers, 78 ribbies.
Crowds that plate. That just missed. And it's 2-1.
You know, he's 2 home runs shy of the record for switch hitters for the Angels, and it's right behind of Chili Davis. And look at the numbers since the break, and is warmed up as the weather has.
2-1 is outside. 3 balls and a strike. .26 homers for Morales, and the Angels club record for a first baseman is 34. Set by Wally Joyner in 1987 and equaled by Mo Vaughn in 2000. Luis Valbuena will take care of the ground ball, and the inning is over. But the Angels grab the early lead 1-0, and now Grady Sizemore will lead the Indians' offense when we come back. take a look at the Indians starting lineup tonight, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Sizemore, Carroll, and Cabrera, Chu, Peralta, Hafner, Valbuena, Torregas, and Marte. Right-hander Trevor Bell, in just his second major league start, goes ahead with a fastball strike to Grady Sizemore.
Big guy for a right-handed pitcher, huh? You can see lefties, he doesn't look very big at all.
Bell, a control pitcher. Nothing that he has in terms of stuff is going to wow you. But when he has command and he's able to throw strikes, he can be effective. 6'2", 185. 22 years old, and that's banged into right field, and the Indians' leadoff man is aboard.
Let's check out the defense for the Angels. They've been playing very good defense lately. It's Rivera in left, Hunter in center, Abreu is in right. Figgins at third, Ibar at short, Esteuris at second, Morales at first, and Napoli behind the plate. Trevor Bell making only his second start at the major league level. I mean, when you look at it, this kid, they've rushed him, and he's making starts because of injuries that they've had to their rotation.
In there for a strike to Jamie Carroll.
He's the fifth Angels rookie to make a start this year. And really, out of the 5 rookie starters, they posted a combined record of 11-4. Although they've had a high ERA, they score a lot, but that's pretty darn good when you're 11-4 and you've got 5 rookies pitching.
Pitch just missed, and it's 1-1. Trevor Bell is a former first-round sandwich pick back in 2005, 37th overall selection.
Yeah, but prior to this year, though, he's never pitched above A ball. Began the season in Double-A with 11 starts. Went to Triple-A Salt Lake, where he made 11 more starts there. And now he's up in the big leagues. So you talk about the fast track, you never know. When guys go down.
Turning point for Bell came when he hooked up with former Indian, but more prominently former Angel pitcher Mark Langston, who talked to the young pitcher about what it takes to pitch and make it to the big leagues. Whoa, that pitch out sailed back over the plate.
Well,
but it was up high, and it's 2-1.
Get your sign straight first, because they call for the pitch out, and he threw this one over the plate. He almost threw it wide as Napoli gets out from behind the plate. He has to come back and make a stab, and a good save. You know, sometimes it is something like that someone can tell you that clicks, and it works for you. You can have maybe the best player in the world come in and sit you down and talk to you, and you can't figure anything out. But if Mark Langston, who was an outstanding pitcher in his day, worked for this young man, that's good for him.
He told him essentially, look, to make it to the big leagues, you have to work harder than you've ever worked in your life. You can't expect to just show up and be given an opportunity. You've got to work for it. Ground ball, double play style. 4-6-3. 2 down. I think, the other thing, too, that a guy like Mark Langston could impress upon a young player is that, look, you can't take anything for granted.
No.
You can't take the game for granted. You can't take the fact that you're a former first-round pick for granted.
You know, eventually you find that out, and hopefully not the hard way. But this game, the longer you play it, the more you learn, and you learn from failure. Hopefully. You don't continue to fail, because you won't be around long if you do. And it is a very competitive and a very tough game.
As Drupal Cabrera riding an 11-game hitting streak. Make it 12 as he dumps one into left field. And a 2-out opposite field single will bring up Shin-Soo Choo.
Yeah. Fight it off, go the other way. Get that base knock. He continues hot. You know, people don't realize it's tough to get drafted. It's like to be the best at where you grew up and where you go to school regionally. Then you start competing in a good college or things like that. But to make it to the big leagues is one thing. To get drafted is one thing. Then you've got maybe an 8% chance to make it to the big leagues, just to make it. Now, once you make it, you have to stay there. And you've got to be that much better to stay. Because people make adjustments, and just because you may have some of the best stuff in the league doesn't mean you're going to stay there because you have it.
Pitch to Chu is outside for ball one. We've talked about it before. For just about every player that makes it to the big leagues, when they started playing, they were the best player on their team, on their league. By the time they get to high school, they're the best player in their city and
county.
All of a sudden you get, as the ball's in the dirt, and Cabrera takes off, and they still gun him down. Boy, nicely done by Mike Napoli. And the inning is over. 2 hits, nothing to show for. And after an inning, it's the Angels 1 and the Indians nothing.
Airlines, official airline of the Cleveland Indians, Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy.
Second inning, Torrey Hunter leading it off, fouls a pitch away. Torrey Hunter saw plenty of Fausto Carmona during his time with the Minnesota Twins.
What did he say the first time he faced him when he was with Minnesota? It's like,
said he felt like he was drunk or
facing a guy when you're drunk and hung over. That ball with the movement that he had back in 07.
5 for 22 in his career against Fausto. Now the 2-strike pitch. Just missed. Shot for that outside corner. I like the idea.
That's the one thing, since he's been back, Matt, that we haven't talked about maybe enough, is that he is using now both sides of the plate.
Swung on and missed. Gets his first strikeout.
You know, with the fastball going in, going out. And he normally stayed on the inside part of the plate to the right-handers. And now there's a sinker down the way after he went out there with a four-seamer to try and nail the outside corner, a part of the plate that he couldn't get to when he was up here earlier.
Mysier Torres takes a first pitch strike. Torres batting .301 on the year, just 1 for 9 in that series against the Indians.
It was actually a fun series. Well, I should say the first 2 games to do when we were in L.A. against these Angels up until that day game on getaway day. But the first 2 games are very exciting. Indians coming back late in both of them. First one they got off their closer, but couldn't get the second one.
The 1-2 up high. There's Mike Napoli waiting on deck. 2-2 pitch. Just missed. And the count goes full. Payoff pitch. Popped him in the air. Right center field. Grady Sizemore makes the catch. 2 down. Let's have a look at the Alltel text poll question of the game. A little trivia. Who leads the Angels in home runs this decade? Is it Vladimir Guerrero, Garrett Anderson, Troy Gloss, Tim Salmon? Text your answer to 31962. Results coming up later in the game. Here is Mike Napoli. In the open, we referred to him as the light-hitting catcher of the Angels because he's the only guy in the starting lineup hitting below 300 tonight, but checks in at 297 with 16 homers. Strike to the inside corner, 0-2 the count. Carmona's 2-strike pitch. Missed down low.
Well, Fausto's had a few 0-2 counts where you try to make that perfect pitch, and that's good for him. I like that.
16 balls, 16 strikes so far for Fausto. And that's up high, 2-2.
I think you continue to do that, and what he will learn from that is that you don't have to make the perfect pitch, but you can maybe set up a pitch down the road. You know, when you're 0-2, if you want to try and get him out in, you can go away with the one and next time buzz one in. He has had 3 0-2 counts to this point. And, you know, I would certainly think that batters feel at a disadvantage when he's got you 0-2.
The first 0-2, though, came back to be full counts.
Well, Figgins walked.
And his Torres fly to center.
Yes.
We'll see what happens here with Napoli if it gets to a full count. 2-2. And it does. 3-2. There is Eric Ibar. He'll be next if Napoli reaches. Payoff pitch. Line to left. Third hit of the night for the Angels. And a 2-out base runner. We'll bring up Eric Ibar. And now Mike Napoli can say, now I'm in the 300 club.
Well, yeah, right.
His batting
well, he heard
now,
you talking about him.
I'm not a light hitter. Are you kidding me?
Well, Fausto got that ball up. But you know what it does as a hitter? When you're down 0-2 and you can come back and get a base hit, that gives you a little bit of confidence as well.
Eric Ibar looks at ball one up high.
You know, the first time through the lineup, though, there was not one Angel that swung at the first pitch.
Mike Napoli does have 2 steals this year.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Just pointed that out because Fausto threw
I
over
know,
there.
I know. You were looking at him, and I would do the same thing. Not yet, anyway.
And there's a strike to the outside corner. 1-1. Napoli, not a guy who's going to run unannounced. If he's running, it's because somebody's telling him to run.
And again, if he would steal, I would think it could be possibly a delayed steal.
Mike Socha's Angels have the early 1-0 lead. 1-1 pitch. Bounced it foul.
And now if you were ever going to do it, now would be the time in a 1-2 count.
Mickey Hatcher, the Angels hitting coach, with a nice hat grab.
These guys get a lot of practice.
Former hero of the 1988 World Series when he was a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers, alongside Orel Hershiser and Tim Belcher and company. Again, Napoli is chased back to the bag. One-two pitch, a liner just beyond the grab of Cabrera. And the Angels have back-to-back singles after the first two were retired here in the second. And now back to the top of the lineup and Sean Figgins.
Well, that was a pretty nice swing off the bat of Ibar. See that? Upstairs. Fausto's got to try and get that ball down. When you get a guy like Ibar, he's going the other way. If it's up, it helps him hit that line drive. If it's down, you make him work for it, and that's where you get your ground balls. So that was a line drive past Cabrera at short, so two out base hits.
Figgins swings and misses. He walked and scored the Angels' run on the first. This is an Angels club that can score regardless of how many outs there are in an inning. This year, they're averaging just a shade less than 6 runs per game. I mean, that is quite an accomplishment. 5.8 runs a game. Just missed outside. 8 teams in Angels history have scored 800 or more runs, including the 79 club that set the franchise mark. Of the 8 times that the club has reached that 800 mark, 4 have come during Mike Scioscia's tenure. 2-1 pitch. Big chopper in the hole. Off the glove of Marte into right field. Coming around third is Napoli. Throw to the plate, and he is safe. And so the Angels take advantage of the error and make it a 2-0 ball game. At least I'm assuming it'll be an error.
Let's wait and see. It looked like he should have had that ball. I don't know if it was anything. It was to his backhand side. A nice hop. There's the hop. Oh, yeah, that's got to be made. I would agree with you.
And that is the ruling, an error on Marte. And so the Indians, who had committed the 4th fewest errors in the league coming in, commit a costly mistake here that allows the Angels to not only grab another run, but keep the inning alive and brings up Bobby Abreu.
Boy, this is one team you cannot, not give extra outs to.
First and third, 2 down. Abreu singled to right field his first time up. So he's now 6 for 10 this year against Indians pitching. Figgins takes off. Ground ball in the hole. Right field. Another hit. Ibar scores. Figgins on his way to third. 3-0 Angels. Abreu now 2 for 2 with an RBI. It gives him 80 runs batted in on the year. And that's going to bring out Indians pitching coach Carl Willis.
He pulled one in the hole again with 2 outs. Drives in the run as the runner was off. So you go corner baseball again, and they get another run in. So it's 3-0 now, Angels.
Abreu has been on fire since June 1st.
Well, all 3 of them, look at them. It's like you better be careful.
Abreu trying to drive in 100 runs or more for the 7th straight season.
Well, that was number 80, so I would think with 6 weeks left to go in the season, there's a pretty good chance the way these guys get on base.
So Juan Rivera, still 2 out, first and third. Hit into a double play his first time up. And that's outside ball 1. Carmona had 2 outs and the base is empty. And Mike Napoli was at the plate. He was right around 30 pitches. But Napoli got the base hit. Ibar followed. Then the error and another hit.
Yeah, the error really hurt.
Abreu's running. Throw to second and not in time. Now, Valbuena gave it a look back to third, but Figgins was not coming home.
See, that's the pressure they put on you. You could go ahead and throw through, but with the Figgins on at third, you got to stop and he'll go home. So you take the ball in front of the base thinking he's going to go, but you give the stolen base to Abreu. That's number 26. And it looked like you might have had him, but you're paranoid that he's going to go home.
1-1 pitch. Foul tipped. Maybe with less than 2 outs, he might have tried it, but you've already got 3 on the board, and you got the middle of the order at the plate. No reason for Figgins to push it right there either. On a line drive, it's snared by Valbuena, and the inning is over. But the Angels get 2 more and lead at 3-0 middle of the second.
Yeah, eat up. Grab some food, get to your seats. Let's go.
Shin-Soo Choo leading off. Maybe he'll launch one out into the buffet line.
Try and hit one of those platefuls of food.
Indians haven't homered in their last 6 games here at Progressive Field.
You're right. Maybe that's why they like going on the road a little bit better.
Up the middle. Bouncer. Backhanded by Asturias, but all he could do was knock it down. Couldn't field it cleanly. And even if he had, I don't think he could have thrown out Choo.
No, Choo gets down the line very well, and he hustles every time. So I'm sure that'll be a single. And it was hit right over the pitcher's head.
Leadoff man aboard.
Yeah, that would have been awfully tough. On the backhand and his momentum carrying him away, I'm sure he wouldn't have thrown him out. Look at Choo. He puts the head down. He knows he's going to beat it.
So Johnny Peralta steps in. Trevor Bell throws a fastball up high, and Peralta couldn't catch up to it. Johnny's hit in his last 3 games. And he's gone 5 for 12 against Angels pitching this year. Caught the inside corner. 0-2 the count. And the 2-strike pitch is in the dirt, and it gets away from Napoli. And again, the Indians test him. And this time, Chu is in there safely.
He was able to get Cabrera because the ball bounced right to him. This one rolled a couple of feet underneath him. And Chu, with his good hustle and good read, is able to get to second base. That'll probably be a wild pitch. It looked like it hit the dirt. But you see, if you get a good read on that ball, you can get into second base.
One-two pitch. Fouled back. And it is, in fact, ruled a wild pitch. And we'll see if the Indians can take advantage and get on the board here in inning number 2. One-two pitch. Outside. Peralta has done a nice job of driving in runs in his last 23 games, has 23 runs batted in.
Well, he did that last half of last year, inserted into the number 4 spot this year, and he's been doing a good job. You know, there's times where he doesn't look pretty, but he seems to feed off that.
But he strikes out here for out number 1. Well, we told you the Indians are homerless in their last 6 at home. But if they can turn that around tonight, that means we'll raise more money for the Gathering Place, a wonderful caring community that helps individuals and their families dealing with cancer. Great Clips donating $50 for every Indians homer this year. Rick and I are each donating $5 per dinger. Over $7,600 raised thus far. Log on to touchedbycancer.org to find out how you can make a donation. Travis Hafner steps in with a runner at second and 1 out. And there's a strike to the outside corner. Hafner knows all too well about the battle with cancer and losing his father a year ago to cancer. And we got a nice letter today from B. Siegel.
Yes, we did. She sent a donation in. B, we want to thank you and also wish her a happy birthday. Out of Sandusky, which she'll be 82 tomorrow.
That's great.
So, B, thank you very much, and certainly for a very good cause, as you well know.
We certainly appreciate everybody's support.
And she's a big Tribe fan and watches every game on TV.
Well, she's hoping to see Pronk deliver here.
And help us raise a little bit more money.
That'd be good. But Hafner's down on the count 0-2 with 1 out. And Chu at second base. Golfed into center. Torrey Hunter will make the catch. And Chu will not test his arm. 2 down. Save 70 to 81% off jewelry right now during the Overstock sale at Alvin's, your Cleveland family jeweler since 1931. Thousands of items, rings, earrings, pendants, diamonds, and gold, all up to 81% off. Find sale dates and locations at alvinsjewelers.com. So Luis Valbuena with 2 down and a runner in scoring position will try to take advantage. Looks at a ball outside. Valbuena over his last 26 games. That's a pretty good chunk. Hitting .287. Like a lot of young players, he certainly had his ups and downs.
Well, I was just going to say, Matt, as a young player, he has shown signs of brilliance, you know, where he can get out there and he shows you he can get the extra base hit. There was the second end of a back-to-back home run in Minnesota that was upper tank.
Great clip of the game brought to you by Great Clips.
But I mean, he can hit the double. We've seen him turn double plays and look very good at second base, and he's still learning the game. So he's a young man. So there's a big upswing for him, an upside.
There's a ground ball off the glove of his Torres. Now the throw back to first, not in time, and the Indians get on the board. Good hustle by Valbuena, and it almost looked as though Morales lost his bearing as far as where he was with relationship to the bag. As Torres got up to throw, and Morales couldn't find the bag initially.
Well, this is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. I thought that Esturris was going to come up and go to home plate, thinking he wasn't going to have the chance. And I don't think Morales was ready for the ball. He didn't get there in time. If he did, you see, he's got to go back there. Don't think he would have had him, but I really thought Esturris was going to go to home plate. And Chu did a great job of hustling with 2 outs and scored easily. That's a tough play. If he catches it cleanly, then he surely gets him at first base, but he did not.
And so the Indians are on the board 3-1. And with 2 down, Wyatt Torregas at the plate. So the Indians taking a page from the Angels book, manufacturing a run here thanks to the wild pitch. And some heads-up base running by Chu. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, when you think about it, on the wild pitch, he hustled to get into scoring position and then ends up scoring on an infield single.
Just as you don't want to give the Angels any extra outs when they're batting, when you're batting, you better take advantage of just about every scoring chance you get.
That's true. You know, their pitching staff is they've had their share of problems this year. You know, their bullpen.
Usually a reliable bullpen. It's been shaky at best this year.
Yeah, that's usually their best part of it. But they are just a hair above the Indians when it comes to team ERA. I mean, they've been so good because of the runs that they score in a game. They have actually given up more home runs as a team than the Indians. They've given up 144 dingers. Only trailing the Baltimore Orioles.
Wyatt Torregas has just 4 hits and 17 at-bats with the Indians, but he's driven in 5 ribbies in the 5 games he's played. Two down, a runner at first here in the second. Angels on top 3-1. And the 2-2 straighten him up, full count. So Valbuena will get a head start at first base on this 3-2 pitch to Torregas. And Andy Marte would be next if the inning stays alive. There goes Valbuena. And Torregas drives one in the air, deep center field, but Hunter is able to get back and make the catch. A run on 2 hits, 1 man left aboard. Through 2, it's the Angels 3 and the Indians 1. bit earlier each and every day now as we fade into late August. Vladimir Guerrero, Kendry Morales, and Torrey Hunter for the Halos here in the third. And Guerrero fouls the first pitch back. Guerrero doubled off the facing of the Indians' bullpen in the first inning. And launches this one down the left field line.
Boy.
I mean, that had some hair on it. On his way to second is Guerrero. And he will go in there standing with his second double of the night.
Tell you what, this guy, when he's on, and he wasn't swinging the bat like this earlier in the year, but when he's getting his hands, nobody brings his hands inside quicker than Guerrero does to get to the baseball and get the barrel head of the bat on the ball. I don't care if it's 6 inches off the plate, and he hit a linea down the third baseline. I mean a seed. This guy is starting to warm up. You want to see him for these 3 games and then move along because he's starting to warm up. You could try and intentionally walk this guy. He'll still find a way to put it in play.
Kendry Morales looks at a ball outside. He grounded to second his first time up. You know, that's the interesting thing, too, about Guerrero is that as players get along, and by no means is he over the hill, but as they get along, they start to lose a little bit of that bat speed, and it doesn't look like he's lost any of it.
Well, you know what? Earlier in the year, he wasn't the same guy. I don't know what it was, and then that injury. But the thing of it is, he's missed a good chunk of time. But you know what's scary? He's going to come on strong down the stretch, and he'll be ready come playoff time.
Back through the box and into center field. Guerrero around third. He's going to get waved home. Sizemore's throw to the plate, not in time. And now down to second goes Morales, and he's in there safely.
There's a ball that should be cut right there and go to second base and get the out. They were not going to get Guerrero at home plate.
It's now 4-1 Angels, and Morales gets his 79th run batted in on the year.
Yeah, a ball that should have been caught. I don't care. I mean, you have to have a feel and take a look. This ball goes past Carmona in the center field. Now, Grady's not throwing the ball well at all this year. You know that. Now, here comes Marte. He just lets it go. You got to cut the ball and get the out at second base. The play's in front of him. You got to have a feel. Instead, you get the runner in and you let the guy get to second base.
Now, is someone else on the infield talking to Marte?
Well, yeah. Normally, your catcher's going to go out and talk it, but you're looking at 2 kids that have been up here. But you have to know as a player, Grady's not throwing. You take charge, catch the ball, throw it to second base, and get the out. At least you're getting it out. It's all designed for that reason.
Torrey Hunter takes a strike in the count 1-1. Hunter struck out his first time up. A career .291 hitter against the Indians with 22 homers, 82 runs batted in. One pitch. Hits it the other way. Marte scoops it up. He'll go to the bag himself. 1 down, and Morales goes to third. Time now for our direct energy, bringing the gas sequence. We'll go back to the second inning.
Back to the second inning, leading it off. It came against Torrey Hunter, who we told you has had problems before with Carmona. He started him off sinker, strike 1. A little slider there. Strike 2, just missed with a good 4-seam fastball. Got him to swing over the top of a good sinker.
Direct Energy, simple solutions for your natural gas needs. Infield in, Myceres Torres pops the first pitch up. Playable. This will be Peralta in foul ground, 2 away. So it's Torres fails to get that runner home from third.
Well, we want you to fill the house for the Special Olympics of Greater Cleveland. That'll be tomorrow night. The middle game of this series with the LA Angels. For every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity. And this season, the Community Outreach Program has already raised over $300,000 for local charities. So visit Indians.com/fill-the-house if you would like more information.
Already the 60th pitch of the night for Carmona. And it's in there for a strike to Mike Napoli, who extended that second inning when he got a 2-out single.
And they have had at least 2 hits in every inning, so there's nothing that Carmona is doing to slow down this offense. The error in the second inning certainly hurt them. When they put 2 runs on the board, they had that extra out and got 4 outs in the inning, and they scored 2.
Yeah, he made 21 pitches in the second after there were 2 men out.
Right, that really hurt him right there.
And the 0-1 misses down low to even the count.
Yeah, when you're a team and you're facing a juggernaut like the Angels, and it could be any offense, it could be the Yankees, it could be Tampa, you have to minimize the outs you give and take charge of every situation, hitting your cutoff, doing all the little things right. I mean, because these guys have been on a roll for quite some time, since late June. I mean, that's a long time to continue to average just under 8 runs a ball game.
Fouled away by Napoli.
Matter of fact, since the break in their 30 games that they have played, 14 times they have scored 8 or more runs in a game. And that was missing Hunter, Guerrero, some pitchers out of there. They have been on a roll, and a lot of other guys have got some playing time and have actually, in turn, gotten a lot of confidence.
Well, on June 2nd, the Angels were a 500 team, 25 wins, 25 losses. And they have just run away from the pack since then, although Texas is still within striking distance.
That's right. They haven't shaken the Rangers, really, as well as they have played.
Down low, another full count.
And the Rangers, a team that have beaten the Angels 9 times. They're 9-3, so they only have 6 games left between themselves.
Payout pitch, and it's ball 4. So Carmona can't get himself out of the inning. Here you look at the standings in the AL West. Seattle fading out of contention now.
Yeah, we thought that. Seattle wasn't strong enough to hang in there. They did have a nice little spurt, but, you know, that's 2 powerhouses up there right now when you look at Texas and the Angels. The Angels have done it a little differently. They're the ones that have all the offense where normally you would think Texas would. And the Angels would have the pitching. Well, Texas is doing it with pitching this year.
It's been a role reversal of
It
sorts.
really has. Good young pitchers. Hunter got a win last night. His 5th or 6th last night against Minnesota. Feldman pitching for him tonight.
First and third for the Angels here, 2 down. Eric Ibar singled and scored in the second. And Carmona's closing in on 70 pitches already.
Well, he normally averages about 18 pitches an inning when you think about it. But, boy, this is above and beyond.
And that's outside 2-1.
They just keep applying. They're like a boa constrictor. They apply the pressure all night long, 1 through 9.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they keep tightening. They get the lead. There's no stop. They continue to apply pressure.
Two-one pitch. Up the middle. And that's through. Another hit, another run. 5-1 Angels. On his way to third is the catcher Mike Napoli, as Eric Ibar delivers his second hit of the night, his 47th run batted in. A lot of 2-out damage tonight already for the Angels.
Well, and they're finding a way to put it in play. And that's about the second or third hit that's just gone past Carmona into center field. And they have done a lot of damage with 2 outs. It was last inning when they had the 2 outs. They continued to do it. Well, and we told you before, with runners on base is when Fausto was really tough in his first 3 starts since he's been back up here. 6 for 39. The teams were that he faced. Tonight, 5 for 11.
Sean Figgin steps in. And that's in the air center field. Grady Sizemore cruising back. Makes the catch. 2 more for the Halos. Middle of the third. They now lead it 5-1. Carmona, who's had a rough go of it here tonight.
Well, I don't know what you tell him now in a situation like this. They're putting the ball in play. He's gotten ahead of some hitters. I mean, they just continue to pound away.
Not to make light of Carmona's struggles, but this may be a case where the old tip of the cap to the other dugout is warranted because they've got 9 hitters, and they're now all 9 hitting over 300.
Well,
they don't do that by accident.
They've got 8 hits in 3 innings, so I don't know. However you want to look at it or shape it, this is a tough lineup to face no matter who you are.
Andy Marte went 2 for 3 against these Angels when he got the call up from AAA. That was out in Anaheim. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Overall, Marte 7 for 36. He has drawn 5 walks in addition to the 7 hits. In the air, right field. Routine for Bobby Abreu. 1 down. Let's send you back to the STO studios right now for a Ford Sports Update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, Rick, Seattle, Detroit in Motown here at the bottom of the 2nd inning. Adam Everett with the runner on second base delivers this single to center field. Here comes Cleet Thomas. He'll score. It's the only run of the game thus far. 1-0 Tigers, 5th inning. Back to you.
Thanks, Al. Tigers start tonight 2 games in front of Chicago in the AL Central. Seattle will be heading to Progressive Field for the weekend series. Trevor Bell delivered a pitch that Grady Sizemore singled to right in the 1st inning. This one he launches foul. Indians had 2 hits in the 1st inning, but a double play and a caught stealing erased the threat of a rally. They did pick up a run in the 2nd, but they're down 4 here in the 3rd.
Well, you know, when you look at it, all things considered, they're 4 for 9 the first time through the lineup, which is actually pretty good after never facing a guy before.
Yeah.
And now Grady comes back with another base hit. It's just that the other offense takes you right out of it in a hurry.
It's a good point, though. How many times do you see a pitcher who's never faced a lineup before come in and have success?
I know it.
Because they've never seen him. They don't have a track record.
They've got 4 hits already through the first 9, and Grady, now they're 5 for 10, and he is 2 for 2.
Jamie Carroll bounced into a double play his first time up. After 752 career games in the major leagues, Jamie Carroll is getting just his 2nd major league start in left field tonight. And the last one came in June of 2004 when he was with the now defunct Montreal Expos, who reside in Washington.
All right, who else is playing in that game? Who was his teammate?
Juan Rivera was the starting right fielder for Montreal.
There you go. How's that for a little trivia question? Who's playing left field himself?
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, you know, he's an infielder by trade, second baseman. He's played some third. He can play infield. He started in right field in Minnesota because of the left field being so big. Eric moved Chu over there. Well, with Trevor Crowe being out and the oblique where he couldn't hit left-handed, well, you needed another guy. So Carroll's been swinging the bat the best. You put him out there. But Trevor Crowe did take some swings today, and everything seems to be fine. So he could use them later on probably as a pinch hitter if need be, or if they get the lead, defense.
And a good chance we may see him back in the lineup
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Absolutely right. You see how it lasts the day after you do it. No question.
2-1 count. Carroll singles into center field. Long run for Hunter. He'll cut it off backhand style. Sizemore goes to third. Indians at the corners with 1 out.
But now you want to see somebody hit one to get you right back into this game. So Jamie put a nice swing on this ball. They're playing him to right center, and see, they got ball, didn't get it inside. Jamie turns on it. And he's a guy where if you don't make your pitch in there and get it in enough, he can. They're playing him over to right center field. So back-to-back one-out singles by the Indians, and that'll bring out Rob Butcher, the pitching coach.
I think Mike Scioscia and Rob Butcher are thinking along the lines of what you were, and that is hey, squash this now. Don't let Chu come up here and let this thing get away from you and allow the Indians to get right back in it.
Well, the thing about it, I think Cabrera's been their best hitter. He's been their hottest guy for quite some. He's been consistent all year long.
He's hit in 12 straight games, but not only that, he's now hit in 23 of his last 25. And during that time, he's hit well over 380. So he is hot for the Tribe.
He's got a 12-game hitting streak with that single back in the first, so keep it right on rolling.
Pops it foul out of play.
That's where when you're down in a game like this, it's still early and you have time to keep going. You can see the job he's done with runners on third and less than 2 outs. It's pretty good, 12 out of 19.
Well, here, this is the very definition of what we talked about earlier. When you get scoring chances against this team,
got to get them.
You have to take advantage, even if it's only a run here.
That's right. Because you mentioned earlier, we haven't hit a home run here in 6 games?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that they did in Minnesota. They hit a few home runs, and they average a run more per game on the road than they do in this ballpark. So you have to string together hits, and sometimes that's hard to do against a lot of pitchers. But this young man has given up his share early.
Well, and partly because the Indians have been in a homer drought at home. Progressive Field is 23rd out of the 30 homers in yielding home runs this year.
It's a legitimate ballpark. There's no doubt about it. I guess when we had our home run hitters early in its career, everyone thought it was a bandbox.
Line drive, base hit, right field. Cabrera's 2 for 2, and the Indians score to make it 5-2.
There you go. Cabby right there, base knock.
His 49th run batted in on the year. Carroll stopping at second. And now Shin-Soo Choo with one swing of the bat could even things up here.
You see how that's a nice short swing. He got up there and looked like a changeup, but he left it up. Boy, he kept his hands back nicely and turned on it and hit it into right field. The Indians have 7 hits. They just need one big swing, and they're right back in the game.
And Shin-Soo Choo with a single in the second inning, giving him hits now in 16 of his last 21 games. Swung on and missed. Good fastball tailing away by Trevor Bell. In the dirt, and a good smother job by Napoli. Now the 1-1. Slicing foul out of play. Back in 2001, and I'm not sure how in the world you come to this type of thing, but Trevor Bell was named the top 14-year-old pitching prospect in the nation by Baseball America. Now, how you pull people across the country to find out who the best 14-year-old pitcher is, but that was him back in 01.
And I want to see some identification. Yeah. I don't know how they do it.
I mean, imagine somebody comes up to me and says, "Congratulations, son, you're the top 14-year-old pitching prospect in the country."
I wouldn't want that pressure.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, and if you are, your parents better take that article and hide it.
Well, I suppose his parents know a thing or two about being in the limelight.
Yes, they do. How about his grandfather?
Trevor's grandfather, Bob Bell, was Bozo the Clown.
In Chicago
he spent
for
25 years on TV.
His nickname would be Bozo if I played with him. That's beautiful.
Chu flies one into shallow right, dropping in a hurry, and it does drop indeed, but Carroll got a late break. He wanted to make sure Abreu couldn't get to it, and now the bases are loaded with only 1 out.
Well, that's you keep it going, Matt. You keep the train moving, and you have to be careful here. You can't get caught off. You're still down 3 runs. You have to make sure this ball is going to drop.
It's like it had a parachute on the end
I know.
of it.
Well, it did, and by the time Abreu could get in there, Cabrera at first got a better read. See, he's almost at second base, but he has to be. So everybody moves up a base. That's the 4th straight single for the Indians. And now it's up to Johnny Peralta.
Johnny struck out his first time up. The Indians looking for that big hit now to break this game open and put themselves right back in it. Down 3. Leans him back for ball 1. Now suddenly, Trevor Bell's pitch count starting to rise. He's at 53.
Well, come on. You need a couple more in this inning. You need a couple more to keep that pressure on.
Taps it foul into the ground. 1-1. Johnny Peralta with a couple of slams in his career. But more importantly, as we talked about earlier, he's driven in 23 runs last 23 games.
Well, and it seems like every time he comes up, there's runners in scoring position.
Lays off a tough pitch, 2-1.
Boy, and this Trevor Bell has really had to work this inning. This is when you have him on the hook, he could deliver a knockout punch.
The 2-1 pitch, and it's over for a called strike. Another look here.
Well, you know, when you're all over, you don't like to give him it didn't look like it was that bad of a pitch. 23 pitches in the inning.
Bases loaded, 1 out, and a 2-2 count. And he punches it into right field, a base hit. Carroll scores. Cabrera gets the stop sign. He slid after he came around third and has to scamper back.
Okay.
It's a 5-3 ball game as Peralta gets RBI number 63 on the year. And everybody moves up 90 feet. You keep the carousel turning.
How about that? 5 straight singles. Johnny, a good job with 2 strikes. He just hit that ball too hard. 1 hopper. And it's funny how Cabrera was coming around third. Skinner said, stay there.
He was coming to score, though.
Because, yes, he was. But that's his mindset.
I like
You've
that.
got to think score. He's able to do like a little pop-up slide and get back to third base. Abreu at one time with a very good, accurate arm. Not like he once did, but you have to think like that as a base runner. I'm going to score on any base hit.
Now Travis Hafner steps in. Bases still loaded. Still 1 out. Angels bullpen getting busy. Hafner had a good cut, but he fouled it back. The runner at third is Drupal Cabrera. Shin-Soo Choo is at second, and Johnny Peralta down at first. Hafner trying to snap an 0-for-8 slump. Down low to even the count. It's Matt Palmer, a right-hander, who is loosening for the Angels.
They were tossing around of starting him in this first game of the series, depending on how things went in the weekend for him. So he is the first man up and ready to come into this game if Trevor Bell cannot put a little water on this fire.
Pitch number 60 of the night for Bell right here. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Everybody straight up for the Angels defensively. 2-1. Just missed, not by much. And now it's squeezing a little bit on Bell. 3-1 the count.
Come to Papa time now. Nah, you get real, you keyhole it, you get real tight into that zone and look for a ball you can drive. Because if he walks Hafner, he's probably out of the game.
3-1, and it's fouled back. Full count. Valbuena checking out the foul ball and where it landed. He's next. But for now, all eyes on Travis Hafner with the bases loaded and 1 out. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Indians down 5-3. Swung on and missed. He
helped him
out. 2 down.
Swung at a ball. Pronk has been terrible with the runners in scoring position. Look at that. Ball down out of the zone. Instead of walking, you swing at it and help him out. Second strikeout for Bell.
And now Luis Valbuena, who had an RBI single his first time up. Outside, ball 1.
Boy, at one time you would sit back and say that's who you wanted at the plate with the bases loaded is Travis Hafner. But this year he has struggled.
Swung on and missed, 1-1.
219 with runners in scoring position.
Just seems like he's expanded his strike zone more than we've ever seen before.
Oh, yeah. And now it's just 6 for 20 with getting that runner in from third base and less than 2 outs. And that's one guy that was one of the most dangerous hitters in the game of baseball a couple years ago.
1-1 pitch. He almost went after it. They'll appeal. He did not go, says Jim Joyce. 2-1.
Boy, this at bat, you could have this guy out of this inning with a base hit.
Hafner hoping Valbuena can pick him up.
Yes, indeed. Come on, you're pulling for your teammates. You didn't do it. Come on, one more guy.
That's a strike. Nailed the outside part of the plate. 2-2. Trevor Bell trying to survive this inning right now. That's all that's on his mind. Indians everywhere you look. Cabrera at third, Chu at second, Peralta at first.
All right, let's send out some more birthday wishes. Andy Foss turning 58 today, and also Matthew Jablonski is 19. Happy birthday to Alfred Goo, turning 87. And I think that's going to take advantage of our birthdays for this afternoon or tonight.
Now back to game action. Here we go. 2-2 pitch. Didn't mean to. Popped it up. And it's caught by the pitcher, Bell, to end the inning. Indians do get a pair, but they leave them loaded. Through 3, it's 5-3 Angels. 5-3 in favor of the Angels as Mike Scioscia talks with Trevor Bell, the Angels starter, who somehow got out of that jam after allowing 5 straight singles, but the Indians did get 2 runs back.
2 and had a chance for more. But you're right, you answered that 2 spot. Now it's up to Carmona to put a 0 on the board. He's yet to do that tonight.
These two have combined for 141 pitches so far tonight.
Yeah, it's been one of those nights. You had a feeling it was going to be one of those nights to begin with. When you're facing an offensive team and a pitcher like Carmona who throws a lot of pitches to begin with.
This next one will be number 75 for Fausto.
And we are just starting the top of the 4th.
Yeah. We talked about the fact that the Angels have a lineup that features a 300 hitter in almost every spot. And when you have that, you have guys who probably are going to be patient.
Tough at bats. Yeah, they know how to work counts. And situational. Not only that, when they're on base and they're moving, now you've got to put another dimension to your game as a pitcher, and that's holding runners on and, throwing over to first base. Look at, there they go, 1 through 9. Oh, who's at 299? Bench him.
Myceres Torres with an 0 for 2 tonight is dipped below. Abreu rockets one to right field. Right there is Chu to make the grab. Rick, I'm not sure if you are aware, but the Mega Millions jackpot is now up to $170 million.
No, it's not.
Now, that's a take-home of over 106.
Murph already told me that he knew it was going to be 170 before they even drew.
106 on the cash up front deal. That's
106.1.
That's a lot.
I'll take the .1.
Okay.
You take the 106 as we
You got a
keep
deal.
going.
Swing and a miss.
I said that last time, and I'm serious. I will.
Did you buy your ticket?
No. Is it today?
You know why? It's because you already hit the lottery.
Yeah. I win the lottery every day.
The 0-1 pitch. Weak ground ball hit the short, and Cabrera will throw him out 2 down. Let's go down on the farm for our Subway fresh face of the game. Carlos Carrasco, who came over from the Phillies as part of the Cliff Lee trade. 4-0 with the Clippers with a .345 earned run average. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Vladimir Guerrero, 2 for 2, 2 doubles, a run scored. After getting the second out in the first 3 innings, Carmona has allowed either a hit or a walk to the very next batter every time, which is one reason why he's already at 80 pitches tonight. Hasn't been able to have that 1-2-3 inning and get back to the bench. He retired the first 2 in the second inning, but then back-to-back hits followed by an error and another hit allowed the Angels to get 2 runs.
Yeah, there's something to be said for a nice 1-2-3 inning, especially after your offense scores.
Yeah.
Because now it gives them a chance to build on the momentum that they had coming off that inning. And plus, you'd be getting out there 2, 3, and 4 hitters that have done some damage to you earlier in the game. This guy he's about as hot as you can get.
The 1-2 pitch. Didn't chase it, and it's even.
There's times where he swings at pitches that mesmerize you, and times you throw him out there, you think he's going to swing, and he never does.
Yeah. Now the 2-2.
There you go.
Chase that in the dirt.
Sinker in the dirt.
Torregas will have to throw to first. He does. And the Angels go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. Middle of the 4th, 5-3. Angels lead it. train's rolling out of town. Bouncer to third, backed up. Figgins, long throw, got him. Nicely done by Sean Figgins, the Angels' third baseman, as he retires Wyatt Torregas. One down here in the home half of the fourth. This scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Andy Marte steps in. Seattle, Detroit, they're tied at 1 now in the 6th inning at Comerica Park. Again, the Mariners will be here in Cleveland this weekend. And it's not like the Mariners have fallen into a horrible slump. They're still above 500 at 61-57. It's just they can't keep pace with the Angels and Rangers.
What? Now you know what teams like Toronto feels like when you're competing against Boston and New York, and the Angels won 100 games last year. I mean, to hang in there with these guys, you have to play outstanding baseball. Not for a month, not for 2 months, for 6 months. Well, and it's not easy to do.
You think back to the 90s when the Indians had their dominant teams. And Marte with a high drive to right, but that's going to fall into the glove to Bobby Abreu, 2 down. It's not that the American League Central Division had great teams in it outside of Cleveland, but the Indians were so good that it was tough for anybody to stay with them, even if they did.
Yeah, and you knew that the wild card was never going to come from the Central, so you had to win the division. And it's pretty much like the wild card, for the most part, is going to come from the East, although this year, the exciting thing is that Texas is going to give it a run for the West. If the Angels maintain, their stronghold on first place.
2 down for Grady Sizemore. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. I mean, I still marvel at 1995.
Yeah,
that the Indians,
144.
Not only that they won 144, but that they won the division by 30 games.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem real.
No, it doesn't.
A 30-game lead
Yeah.
to win the division.
That's in front of every team.
We may never see that again.
No, you're absolutely right. I don't think we'll ever see a team like that again. And what happened in 95 after the strike of 94, the good thing that the Indians had, they had all their players signed. So when 95 came in, and after the replacement players that spring, everybody was in camp ready to go. They were signed. And I'm talking to guys like Eddie Murray, you had Baerga, you had Bell, you had Lofton, you had a lot of the guys. Martinez.
Grady Sizemore draws a 2-out walk. And it will bring up Jamie Carroll. Hey, you can win a new home theater system in the Great Clips Upgrade My Viewing Contest. This package includes a 32-inch Samsung 1080p television, a Sony Bravia DVD home theater system, and a Sony Blu-ray player. Stop by your local Great Clips location and register to win before August 30th.
Now, see, that's what I'm going to register for instead of that $100 million lotto.
You just want the upgraded viewing package.
I want to watch you. I'm going to TiVo you and watch you.
After you win the lottery, you'll be sitting at home. Well, check out my old buddies. See how they're doing. 1 for 2 is Jamie Carroll. Single and scored in the third. Trevor Bell's 80th pitch tonight is in there for a strike. I'll say this for Trevor Bell, and this may ring hollow, but he hasn't walked anybody.
Well, he just did. He walked his first hitter.
I mean,
you're right.
He's in all that trouble in the third inning. It's not like Mike Scioscia's over there pulling his hair out because he's falling behind and walking guys.
He's your typical young guy that when an inning starts snowballing and starts rolling downhill, he's got to slow it down and try and find a way to halt it. And you saw where Scioscia was in there talking to him after that inning. You're right. He didn't give them extra base runners. He didn't walk anybody. He made them hit their way on. He's a young pitcher that has to learn under fire, and what a way to learn. They get you 5 runs early.
Had Sizemore leaning, almost picked him. That 1-2 count is a popular one to run on.
Well, it is when you're at the top of your lineup and you want to protect a guy, feeling he may throw him another breaking ball or.
Now the 1-2, and it's down low. I'll say this, the scouting reports that we got on Bell were pretty much right on. He doesn't have one pitch that wows anybody, but if he's commanding it and keeping it out of the middle of the plate, you can see where he could have some success. Yeah. Now, a number of times tonight he's missed on the plate, and Indians hitters have been able to square it up, put it in play. The 2-2. Ibar scoops, fires, got him, and the inning is over. 4 complete, 5-3 Angels. Subway. Play hard, eat fresh. And by Alltel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network. Beautiful day out there on Lake Erie. That was me yesterday out there splashing around.
I heard
jet skiing.
a little jet skiing. That's beautiful.
Fun.
Thanks for the invitation.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it, bro.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Nice talking to you.
You know what?
Jet skis.
The thing is, I could have had a family of 4 on the back of this jet ski. These things are huge now.
Yeah.
They're like cars.
Knowing you probably did have a family.
Kendry Morales, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a run batted in the third. And the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Carmona gets his 3rd strikeout, and he's fanned back-to-back hitters.
Well, Friday, the Indians will host the Seattle Mariners of the first of a 3-game series. There's going to be a spectacular post-game fireworks show. Plus, we'll be a part of the show by singing along to many of your favorite songs. It's Cleveland's largest karaoke night. So come on out to the ballpark. That's Rock and Blast 1. To be followed by 2. That'll be on Saturday night.
Torrey Hunter 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out his first time up. And he took a healthy cut, came up empty against Carmona on that first pitch. Fausto has now retired 5 in a row. This will be his 90th pitch of the night. Down low. Indians down a pair here in the 5th. Swing and a miss, and boy, Hunter, he never has and never will get cheated on a swing.
No.
But you know the one thing I remember about Torrey Hunter, thinking back to his days as a Twin, facing a guy like CC Sabathia, he would hit the ball to the opposite field with great power.
Well, he would at CC because he was figuring he's getting that ball away, but you try to pound him inside. When he came up, he hated the ball in, and that's why I don't think he liked Fausto, because he'd bury that sinker in on his hands, and right-handers could get in there. But Fausto, the third time, he's made an adjustment today. Third time through the lineup out of his 22 pitches, 15 have been strikes.
Brady Sizemore chasing back. He'll make the grab, 2 away. Let's check out our All-Care Dental and Dentures Smilin' Easy Cam tonight here at Progressive Field. And it has been a beautiful evening. Warm temperature, man. 79 at game time.
But I got up today and everybody's talking about rain, thunderstorms. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Never rains on the Tribe. With 17 locations.
Not down here, baby.
Across northeastern Ohio, All-Care Dental and Dentures make seeing the dentist easy.
It's been absolutely nice. Beautiful down here tonight.
Myceres Torres is 0 for 2 tonight. One-time Indians farmhand. Looks at a ball down low, 2-0. Just 1 for 11 against Indians pitching this year.
Maybe one of the only ex-Indians that hasn't done any damage to him. Seems like every other guy that was in the organization or played for him comes back and, boy, is a pain in the neck.
Now the 2-0. And it's now 3 balls and no strikes. There's a strike to the outside corner. Fausto has set down 6 in a row, trying to make it 7 straight, and retire the side in order for the second inning in a row. But this will end it with a line drive single into center field. So as Torres has his first hit of the night, 9th for the Angels. And the hits are now even at 9 apiece. You see Carl Willis hanging up the phone. That bullpen about to get busy.
Well, 3-1, you got to go at him. You can't walk him. Carmona knows it. And as a hitter, you just sit down and look for the fastball, and he got it and lined it into center field. Hit number 9 for the Angels. So it's 9-9. There's 18 hits in the ball game.
Mike Napoli singled and scored in the second inning. Walked in the third.
You know, for the Angels, out of their 9 hits, 6 have come with 2 outs.
Sometimes you don't know what to make of that.
Well, you know what? Closing out an inning. I mean, sometimes it happens.
With a young pitcher, I would say, well, okay, well, that's something that, is definitely
a little concern.
But with Carmona, he's been through all that before.
Yeah, but it's almost like he's reinventing himself this year. I look at him like he is a young pitcher, and what happens to Carmona at times, it can get out of control where he can't stop it. Whether it's no outs, 1 outs, or 2 outs.
The 2-out error definitely hurt him in the second.
Right, that is correct. After he gave up back-to-back singles, the error kept the inning going. He gave up 1 more.
Jensen Lewis warming in that bullpen.
They've had a two-out hit in every inning except the 4th when he went 1-2-3.
Napoli swings and misses. It was a 2-out walk to Napoli that extended that 3rd inning, and that eventually led to the Angels scoring another run, as Carmona has reached 100 pitches now on the night. And this, you would figure, will be his last inning one way or the other. 0-2 pitch. Into center field, base hit. This Torres on his way to 3rd. And the Angels have runners at the corners with 2 down yet again. That's been a familiar theme tonight. Had him down on the count, but up again.
Up. Everything has been upstairs for Carmona tonight. He's getting under that sinker. That sinker doesn't have bite going down. Sometimes maybe when that front shoulder flies open a little bit, that ball stays up in the strike zone instead of throwing downhill. You know how sinker ball pitchers try to stay behind the ball throwing downhill. it looks like he might be opening up a little bit and everything's staying up in the zone.
Pushes Eric Ibar back off the plate. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored for the number 9 hitter.
And I think one thing you watch for Carmona as he's pitching is when he throws the baseball, where he lands on a consistent basis. Does he land in the same spot? One pitch is in. Sometimes he has a tendency to overstride. And, you know, he may land in 2 or 3 different spots which is going to make the ball go in different places. I mean, it makes sense.
Now he's behind in the count 2-0 with runners at the corners and 2 down. Took a little something off, and it drops in there for a strike. There's the runner at third. That's Torres. And Mike Napoli at first. Two one. Missed badly with it. I know he's probably 1 pitch away from getting a hook. Top of the order, Sean Figgins on deck. Three one. Swing and a miss. Full count. So back-to-back off-speed pitches to get the count back to full. And now we'll see if he can get himself out of the inning. And the payoff pitch. Tapped it foul. Another changeup. Seems to have a pretty good feel for that pitch in this at-bat. Wanted to stay with it. But Ibar able to spoil that one. The runner Napoli at first. He'll be taken off on the 3-2 pitch. And again, it's fouled back.
Oh, it looked like Carmona back-to-back changeups on this guy on a full count. And that takes guts to throw because you don't want to walk him.
Fausto with a long look in. And the 3-2 is swung on and foul tipped again by Ibar.
Boy, these are the kind of hitters that you hate to face because if they keep hanging around, they foul them off to stay alive until they get something they like. That's his 3rd straight pitch he's fouled off.
You know, for a number 9 hitter, he's had 17 multi-hit games now in his last 34 plays.
It's fun to hit 9th when you're like him. There
Swung on and missed. He finally got him. 4 strikeouts for Carmona. And he holds the Angels off the board as they strand a pair. It's a 5-3 Angels lead as Carl Willis gives Fausto Carmona a tap on the shoulder. But, you know, Carmona, at the end of the day, he's a nice going, easy, laid-back guy off the field. But when he steps between the lines, he wants to win. I mean, he brings a great competitive streak out there.
He struggled to get through 5, but he held them at 5. Put 2 zeros up the last 2 innings.
Point being, pat on the back's not going to help him sleep tonight. I mean, he's not happy with his performance. You can tell.
No, he may not be, but it could have been worse.
Torrey Hunter runs it down in center field as Drupal Cabrera retired for the first time tonight. Let's go back to the STO studios once again for a Ford Sports update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, gentlemen, let's head to Chicago where the White Sox taking on Kansas City with Freddie Garcia on the hill for the White Sox and A.J. Pierzynski getting them a run here in the bottom of the first inning. It's 1-0 Chicago as they try and run down the first-place Tigers. They're leading the Royals. Back to you.
Now Shin-Soo Choo steps in. Choo has singled twice tonight, scored a run for the Tribe back in the second inning. Trevor Bell, like Carmona, has made a lot of pitches tonight, but he's on top right now with a 2-run cushion.
Well, after he gave up those 5 singles, consecutive singles, and he was able to get the Hafner strikeout in the Valbuena check swing, you know, too, and he's retired other than the Grady walk. They haven't gotten a hit, so he settled in. They were so close to knocking him out of the ball game.
I think back to that 3-1 pitch that Travis fouled off. I don't know, you know, looking back on it, I don't know how close he was to really mashing that one, but you talk about getting your pitch and don't foul it off kind of thing.
Well, I don't know if that was, I don't know if it was a strike or not, but 3-1, he ended up swinging at ball 4 to begin with.
Ultimately,
that's the bottom line. I don't know where the 3-1 pitch was. But that was the difference. If he doesn't get an out there, he's out of the ball game. But he settled in, and then you give a guy a new life, and you hang around. Even if you're a young kid, it gives you, you know, just some new confidence, man, where you can believe in yourself. And he's still left with the lead. That's all. He just gave up a pair of that inning.
Now the 1-2 pitch to Choo. Popped in the air, shallow left near the line. Going to be a tough play. And a nice running catch by Sean Figgins. Not much he can't run down.
No, well, he can play the outfield. He's an athlete. So it's not a hard play for him.
Hey, Rick, don't forget you can see the 2009 Browns for the first time live at Cleveland Browns Stadium for as little as $16. You'll get 50% off any ticket purchase for the Browns preseason opener. Presented by AT&T this Saturday at 7:30. Buy online now at clevelandbrowns.com. Johnny Peralta, 1 for 2. He drove in a run in the third inning. And it's in there for a called strike. So Trevor Bell trying to work his way through 5 innings and at least give himself a chance at a potential win here tonight. And he's quickly ahead of Peralta, 0-2. This will be his 95th pitch of the night. Straighten him up. You know, there was a time for the Angels where if a starter went 5 innings, no big deal. They'd turn it right over to that pen. This year, that's not been a slam dunk proposition, though.
No, now you're stretching those starters out to try and get them 7.
A swinging bunt, and Napoli throws them out. Indians go 1-2-3. We go to the 6th, 5-3 Angels. Well, it's a 5-3 Angels lead. And as we go to the 6th inning here at Progressive Field, the Indians go to the bullpen for the first time tonight. 5 innings for Fausto, and Jensen Lewis will come on for the Tribe.
Well, and Carmona, well over 100 pitches, gave up 10 hits and 5 runs. So the job now for the bullpen is to keep it right here, because I wouldn't be surprised if Bell was done with the Angels as well. We will see.
Sean Figgins takes the first pitch strike. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Walked and scored in the first.
Although he's still got his game face on.
Yeah, he sure does. He's still just under 100 pitches, so Mike Scioscia, and as I said, with their bullpen the way it is, he may want to try to push him, try to get one more inning out of him.
I don't see anybody down there throwing.
Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Outside, 3-1. And he's walked the leadoff man. Second time tonight Figgins has been aboard on the free pass. Here's our Northern Ohio Toyota dealers game recap. Bobby Abreu's 2-out RBI single after an error by Marte made it 3-0. And then in the third, Eric Ibar with a 2-out RBI single made it 5-1. Johnny Peralta got the Indians rolling. Indians had 5 straight singles in the third to cut the gap to 5-3. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. .37 steals for Sean Figgins, so Lewis will definitely be paying close attention to him.
Yeah, and you can't pay too much attention to these guys, because you can't that takes away from concentrating on that hitter is going to get you in bigger trouble. They're going to steal their share of bases, especially guys like Figgins.
I wonder quantitatively how much more it's worth to a hitter with a base stealer, not a runner, but a base stealer at first base.
Well, I can give you an idea. I think you're going to get more fastballs when you have a base stealer on base than you would if it's a normal guy, because the catcher most times are going to want to get a fastball to throw on.
Up and in, spun him out of there, throw to first, not in time.
Now, it looked like Figgins may took off, or at least gave a couple of bluff steps. And sometime if you're a base stealer, you can think you're going to take off and stop because you didn't get a good jump and go back. Mm-hmm. But I think as a hitter, when you've got a pure base stealer on base, you're going to get more fastballs. Except nowadays you can't throw the changeup off the fastball. So
2-2. So Figgins hasn't run yet. And Abreu is always a patient hitter, whether there's a guy on or not.
Yeah, but Bobby, in his first 2 at-bats, found the hole between first and second. So Figgins is saying, why should I take that hole away from him? Let him shoot it. Give him that hole for 2 strikes. Now, if you want to run, go ahead. You see, these guys, when you work together for a while, and Abreu was hitting third the last time we faced him in L.A., that's because you had Guerrero out of the lineup. You had Hunter out of the lineup. These guys are back in. So now this guy that was hitting third in the lineup moves up. He's a perfect second-place hitter because he takes a lot of pitches with a great eye, and he can hit the hole.
Swung on and missed. Big strikeout for Jensen Lewis, 1 down. Here's another look at tonight's Alltel Text Bowl question of the game. Angels' leading home run hitter this decade, is it Vladimir Guerrero?
or 3 guys who no longer wear Angels uniforms? Garrett Anderson, Troy Gloss, Tim Salmon. Text your answer to 31962. Results later in the game. Juan Rivera, 0 for 3, steps in. Down low for ball 1. Texas out in front of Minnesota tonight, 1-0. They're in the third. White Sox lead the Royals 1-0, also in the third. 1-0 pitch, chop foul, third base side over by the Indians dugout, and a boot. And it's in the gutter. Well, how many wiffle balls and tennis balls we lost in the gutter in my neighborhood? Too many to count. Tigers and Mariners tied 1-1. They're in the 8th in Detroit. One pitch. Pop foul out of play. Juan Rivera hit into a double play in the first, lined out to second base in the second, grounded out to short in the fourth. Ooh, he had a good rip.
Yes, he did.
Another look at this pitch that was right there for Rivera, but
rarely will you see a guy with 2 strikes take a rip like that. But that ball was straight and it was middle of the plate. You know, 2 strikes, you change your approach a little bit.
Good move by Lewis that time. He had Figgins probably with the biggest lead he's had in a while now. Might have had him leaning a tad.
Well, Sean's a guy that has that open stance, and he, you know, if you don't make him stop, he's going to take off, and he will time you. You got to change your tempo, your rhythm. See, that time he didn't go out as far. Base stealers like a guy that they can time. Like a guy that comes set, count to 1, and he goes to the plate. I mean, and they change it. Pitchers alter it because pitching coaches make them do it now.
Popped him up. Marte at first base. Makes the grab, 2 down. Vladimir Guerrero doubled in his first 2 plate appearances tonight. Almost hit this one out of here. Hit off the facing of the bullpen. And then he just blistered that one.
Yeah, brought the hands in. 1 to right center, 1 down the left field line. And
struck out his last time up, chased the ball in the dirt, which is also something he is prone to do. But just throwing it in the dirt isn't always the remedy either.
I told you, I saw him, I think it was Friday night, get a hit in Baltimore. Someone bounced one a foot in front of the plate, and he singled it over the shortstop's head. Thought he was playing cricket.
The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed.
This guy is one of the best Vlad ball hitters. How about that?
There you go. I like it. You worked on that today, didn't you? You were in the pool. You were sitting on the lounge on the inflatable chair, floating around, thinking, hey.
Yeah, what about that? That may work tonight.
Vladimir Guerrero homered twice last night, has doubled twice tonight. In the dirt, good stop by Torregas.
You know, one thing I've always wondered about Guerrero, and I think, you know, he chose his path. He loved being in Montreal because he was a little bit under the radar, and I think he, you know, chose going out west because he's never been a guy who's wanted to go to the Big Apple, that kind of media attention. But
right.
I've always wondered if he played in one of those eastern markets, what kind of hype there would be surrounding him.
Oh, he'd been one of the greatest players that ever donned a uniform.
He strikes out looking here. And Jensen Lewis has a good inning after walking the leadoff man. Three Angels lead it. Travis Hafner leading off the home half of the sixth for the Tribe.
Trevor Bell is right back out there. And ever since he was able to get Travis Hafner and stop that string, he's able to set down Indians hitters 0 for 8, 39 pitches, 25 strikes. So that gave him a shot of adrenaline. That one strikeout he got back in the third inning.
That Angel bullpen is busy as he bounced that one in front of home plate. You know, this Indians offense has excelled at big innings lately.
Yes,
you talk about their run of success, winning 15 out of 24.
Yep.
When they win, they have that one big inning. Tonight they had the opportunity for the big inning.
And didn't make it a big
Just missed that one
Yeah,
big hit.
That's exactly right. You remember the Texas series. They scored 5 runs in the first game in one inning. They ended up winning that game, and then they didn't score the rest of the time, except for one inning. Minnesota, they went and they had a big inning, you know, a couple of times. In Chicago.
Now the 3-2 pitch. And Hafner one hops it up the middle. With the shift on, Ibar able to throw him out.
Well, if you're traveling, you can always catch the Tribe games on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 live out-of-market games per week, plus on-demand games. For full details, visit Indians.com, where baseball is always on.
Luis Valbuena 1 for 2. He drove in a run in the second inning, got the Indians on the board tonight. In that third inning, with the bases loaded and 2 out, he popped one up at home plate to end the inning.
Yeah, I didn't get a good swing off on that one. It was a pitch by Bell that I think fooled him.
Just a bit outside, 3-1. And the 3-1 from Bell is socked deep down the right field line. And it's just foul. Boy, that couldn't have missed that foul pole by much. Looked like it was headed right for it.
Yeah, he got the bat head out. Look at it going right down the line. There's a good shot of it.
Yeah, missed it by plenty.
Nice shot, Bry. That's about 4 feet foul.
So now a 3-2 count. High pop. Drifting foul. And into the seats. He's taking aim at right field. The one word that Eric Wedge has used to describe Luis Valbuena, and I think it does fit, it's appropriate, fearless. You know, when you watch this kid play the game, sure, he's going to fail, he's going to make mistakes, but he doesn't seem to have any fear of failure, and you like to see that in a young player.
That's exactly right. Go after it. You'll learn. Don't be afraid to fail.
A 1-out walk for Valbuena, and that's going to be it for Trevor Bell tonight. Mike Scioscia is going to make a move to the bullpen with 1 on and 1 out here in the 6th, and the Angels in front 5-3. We've got a timeout. We'll be right back. Bulger will face Wyatt Torregas with 1 on and 1 out. From what we saw, Bulger out in Anaheim, he's got a pretty good arm.
Yes, he does. And, you know, we told you Trevor Bell, this was his second start. It was almost identical to his first. He went 5 1/3 in his first. Same here. 9 hits, 9 hits again. Gave up 4 runs in his first start. 3 runs to this point, but he is responsible for the runner on base. So very similar starts, and he still has a chance to win this game. He certainly cannot lose it.
Wyatt Torregas tonight has fly to center, grounded to third. 2-0. There's a called strike. 2-1. Wyatt Torregas. And a good count here with 1 on and 1 out in the 6th. Leans him back 3-1. Torregas hit .284 at AAA Columbus this year. In 60 games played, he had 10 doubles and 7 homers. Made the International League All-Star team. Got the call-up on July 31st. Slow tapper to the mound. Look to second, but he'll take the sure out. 2 down. Well, I don't know what you're doing on Thursday, August 27th, but here's a plan. Join Jimmy Hanlon and Mike Cairns for the inaugural Tee It Up Ohio Golf Tournament. It'll take place at Stonewater Golf Club in Highland Heights. $110. You'll get golf at one of the East Side's premier golf courses, plus lunch, dinner, prizes, gifts, and a pre-golf clinic. Tournament presented by GolfNow.com. To register, visit GolfNow.com or TeeItUpOhio.com. It's a great event. It's a 2-man best ball deal.
I had us signed up, but you know what? It's our opening night in Baltimore.
I know. But it's a great format. So basically, the way you do get a partner. And whoever your golfing buddy is, you go as partners. You play a 2-man team.
It's great. Good time.
And Jimmy will. He's promising to fix your golf game before you even go out and play.
Just don't play. Yeah, just don't bet him. He'll fix it in the wrong direction. Playing a great course out there, that should be a good time. It's too bad we are out of town.
I think Jimmy and Mike rigged it up that way, so we couldn't participate.
I'm going to call Jimmy to see if he's got Mike as his partner, or he blew him off. We'll see what happens.
I say we just issue the public challenge. We'll take them on 2-on-2 for the Tee It Up Ohio Indians Baseball Cup.
Well, I'm sure he heard you say that, so you make the phone call. Make sure I'm off that day.
Yeah. Two and one the count. Marte with a runner at second and 2 down. Good pitch, evens the count. Marte with a high fly ball. Deep left field. Back is Rivera. On the track, pulls it down. And the inning is over. Marte gave it a ride. Came up short. And it's still 5-3 Angels through 6.
Simple solutions for all your natural gas needs. Visit directenergy.com/GoTribe for details. And by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. It's a 5-3 Angels advantage as we go to the 7th inning. Kendry Morales, Torrey Hunter, and Myceres Torres to face Jensen Lewis, who pitched a scoreless 6th inning. Strike to the outside corner. Both pitching staffs have made the adjustment.
Settled down, haven't they?
First 2 times through the lineup, Angels were 8 for 16, Indians were 9 for 18. Since then, the Angels have gone 2 for 12, and the Indians 0 for 7.
There you go.
So it's
settled down.
Tale of 2 halves. Up high, 2-2. Foul tipped into the glove. Third strikeout for Jensen Lewis. 1 down here in the 7th.
Well, you can meet Indians right fielder Shin-Soo Choo. It's a special autograph session that'll be held tomorrow between noon and 1 o'clock out at Champ Sports in Tower City Center. So if you want an autograph, go meet Shin-Soo Choo tomorrow at 12 to 1.
Well, chopper foul. This scoreboard update is brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Fouled out of play. Hunter 0 for 3. He has struck out, grounded out, flied out. And now he has singled up the middle. And a 1-out base runner for the Angels. Snaps a string of 4 in a row set down by Jensen Lewis.
Just got on top of a fastball. They've had 3 or 4 hits right back up the middle on the ground today. But you put the ball in play and you can find holes at times. It seems like they always find the holes.
Didn't take long to get a response from Jimmy Hanlon.
Is he on your email?
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Oh, nice job. Pulled the string on his Torres, 0-2. Jimmy Hanlon says, great on the challenge as long as it's alternate shots so I don't have to play Mike's drives. Oh, yeah.
Good for him. Now you see what you're getting yourself into, don't you? Jimmy, we'll call and talk about this. Only if you give us a shot a hole and you're playing with Mike.
He has to play left-handed. Hunter, a very modest lead. Now he inches off.
Torrey Hunter, 13 steals on the year. Of course, he missed a chunk of time with that abdominal strain. Up high. Actually, it wasn't abdominal strain. It was an abductor muscle, which is actually a groin. To brush up on my anatomy.
Well, he and Guerrero had leg problems.
Yeah.
Guerrero was behind the knee, and Hunter a groin. And this guy's really durable. One of the first times he's been on the deal in a long time.
Now the 1-2. In tight. And that's pretty remarkable when you consider how he's played center field over the years with pretty much reckless abandon.
Yes, indeed. He's been a treat to watch.
Two the count.
You know, and you don't think he'd be running in this situation here, especially after coming off a leg injury, and he hasn't been in much. He had yesterday off because they played a long game, extra innings on Saturday, so he had, Sunday.
He takes off. He had a huge jump.
Had him
It's
timed?
popped up. Yes, he did. Torregas will make the catch, and Hunter back to first. He was probably 6 steps towards second base before Lewis let go of the ball.
He just had him timed and
He
took
had him
off.
timed.
Let's
Watch
see if
this.
Jensen's even looking at him. See, he didn't even see him. He had taken his eye off of it. So you're right. He had it timed beautifully.
But it's all for naught, 2 down. And Mike Napoli will be the batter. Texas has opened up a 5-1 lead over Minnesota in the 4th inning. Down in Arlington.
Yeah, they beat Minnesota yesterday, 8-5. And one thing I noticed that Joe Mauer remained hot, went 3 for 5, and still hit another home run, even though they did lose.
Wyatt Torregas going to go out and talk with Lewis. Seattle's gone ahead of Detroit 3-2. They're in the bottom of the 8th at Comerica. And the White Sox, at last check, were leading Kansas City. So a chance for Chicago potentially to move to within a game, but neither scores are final yet. The 0-1 to Napoli, hit high in the air, shallow center. Valbuena calling for it, and the second baseman will make the grab. Stretch time in Cleveland, 5-3 Angels.
Inning, still down by 2.
Now Grady Sizemore trying to get things rolling for the Tribe. Bulger delivered that one in the dirt.
Well, Grady has been on every time tonight. A couple of singles and a walk. All of his at-bats coming off Trevor Bell.
It seems like every time this year Sizemore's batting average is starting to take a nosedive towards the 220 mark, he gets hot. And the last 7 games coming in, hitting 357 and 2 more.
No, do you think maybe that when he's starting to go south, that elbow may be hurting him, and then all of a sudden you get a day off or something? And
I think that's part of it.
It's hard to tell with Grady. You never know from one day to the next.
Well, he's never going to
admit anything.
Not even to his teammates. He's not going to walk around the clubhouse and say, "Oh boy, my arm's killing me."
He's been on 4 times, and there's your start.
Before the Indians get rolling, let's roll back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports update with Al.
All right, Matt, you were just talking about the Rangers and the Twins. Well, here's the big blow. Ian Kinsler, a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. Since he's returned, he's played in 4 games, 6 for 11, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. 5-1 Rangers, 4th inning. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Here, Mike Socia wants to make a pitching change. It's matchup time here in the 7th inning. Angels on top 5-3. Bottom of the 7th inning. And the Angels go back to their bullpen after Jason Bulger goes 2/3 of an inning. But he walked the leadoff man here in the 7th. So now Kevin Jepson will come on for the Angels for the 34th time this year.
And a guy they really need deeper and late into the ball game. He did pitch one time against the Indians out there. He went 1 1/3 innings and did not allow a run. This guy, was it last week or a couple of weeks ago, was clocked at throwing a couple of pitches 100 miles an hour against the Detroit Tigers out in L.A. It's been a warm evening, and he was nice and loose, huh?
Oh, that's 97 right there. Free
Triple
and easy.
digits, man.
Well, he's been better now since, the last month and a half. 2.14 ERA over his last 20 appearances.
He got off to such a slow start. I remember we were talking about you saying, boy, here's a guy with a high ERA and his numbers. But I says the manager brings in the guy that's pitching the best late in the ball game,
that's
and
right.
he was pitching the best and did a nice job.
0-2 the count quickly on Jamie Carroll. Missed some time earlier this year with a strained lower back.
Because Shields was always their go-to man late in the game, 7th or 8th inning for the Angels. And last year they had that guy, Jose Arredondo, who wasn't even with the Angels the last time we were there because I don't know what happened to him, but they said he was a closer in waiting. I guess couldn't throw strikes earlier in the year and was shipped out to Salt Lake, to AAA.
Yeah, he had a 1.62 ERA last year and only allowed 11 earned
Throw
runs
to first. Okay.
in the year. One-two pitch to Carroll. Another toss to first. There goes the runner, and Carroll fouls it away.
Well, he's got to protect himself down in the count, but Grady had a pretty good jump there.
Carroll singled and scored in the 3rd. And the 1-2 is strike 3 call.
Pitch.
One down.
Excellent pitch. Boy, 2 strikes right on the outside edge on the block. Very good pitch. When you're throwing 97, that's a tough pitch to swing at as a right-handed pitcher. Great pitch.
So it'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera, who had hits in his first 2 at-bats before he flied to center his last time up. Indians have not had a hit since Johnny Peralta's RBI single in the 3rd.
Until right there.
And that is going to break the string. It drops in, and the Indians have 2 on with 1 out. The Indians have not hit a home run here at Progressive Field in their last 6 games. See if I can do it again.
Well, I got you. They haven't had a hit. And, well, you don't spot this guy anything when you're throwing 97. You look for that first fastball. Even though Cabrera did hit a little bit on the trademark, he stayed on it. This guy is swinging a magic wand right now. So 1st and 2nd with 1 out.
Chu hits in his first 2 at-bats. Fouled out his last time up. Inside for ball 1. Now the 1-0 to Chu. Off the glove of Napoli, and the runners are going to go to 2nd and 3rd.
Big play. Pass ball.
It's a called strike, but I'm wondering if Napoli got crossed up.
I don't think so. I think he maybe just closed his glove. Remember, this guy's throwing 97. And he may have, I don't know if he took his eye off it, but it didn't stick. Watch how he maybe closes his glove a little early. I don't even know if you'd have to close it. Boom, there it goes. It bounces out right there for a strike. But now the tying runs are in scoring position. That's a big break.
And a 1-1 count on Shin-Soo Choo. Did he hold up? He did not go around, says Jim Joyce. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, that was a good call.
In the dirt, and again it gets away from Napoli, but not far. He's had a number of balls tonight that he's not been able to come up with cleanly. Now, hey, in his defense, a lot of them have been in the dirt.
Well, when you call for a breaking ball in a situation like that to a hitter, as a catcher, you are anticipating that ball in the dirt. You know, you're expecting something low. I thought maybe that ball was going to be in the dirt. It just got his glove, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad of a pitch.
And now the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, and they're loaded. You didn't know any better, you'd say that they were pitching around him.
Well, let's put it this way. He wasn't going to give in to him and throw him the fastball. You see, they said, if you hit him, you're going to have to hit that breaking ball or that slider. Never gave him in and threw the fastball to Chew. So now the Indians with a prime opportunity here with the bases loaded again and 1 out. This is the best they've had since the 3rd inning.
Now Johnny Peralta had an RBI single with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning.
Yes, indeed. That was the last time, as you mentioned, before Cabrera got that hit, the last hit for the Indians.
And here we go again for the Tribe as Mike Butcher continues the conference on the mound with Kevin Jepson. Indians have gone 252 plate appearances without a home run here in Cleveland.
You're trying to will that back, aren't you?
I'm trying to make it happen. Peralta's hit in 4 straight games. 6 hits in his last 15 at-bats during his little streak. And there's a base hit into left field. Sizemore scores. Here comes Cabrera. Now he gets the stop sign. And the throw back down to second, and Chew just does get back in there safely.
Well, there you go. Johnny Peralta jumping on that first fastball, getting a base hit. So again, with the bases loaded, he comes through.
And again,
second straight RBI single.
Just like earlier in the game, same situation. Cabrera came around third, hell bent for leather. He was trying to score, but when he got the stop sign, Chew almost ran up his back, and he had to really scamper back to second base. You can see him there in your picture.
I'll tell you what, as a base runner there, that's a hard throw, because if you see the ball above the cutoff man, you're automatically going to go to the extra base.
If you're Chew, you're thinking it's over the cutoff man.
Yes, if you're not watching that run ahead of you, that would have been an easy play to overrun that guy at third base, but he did not.
Here's Travis Hafner again, bases loaded, 1 out. Check swing. He went too far, says Jim Joyce, and it's 0-1. Hafner 0 for 3 tonight. He wants to make amends for that strikeout with the bags loaded in the 3rd.
Well, you get the opportunity right back again. That's a good thing. That opportunity is there. You can tie it up. You can give them the lead as well. But this is a situation where, as I told you before, it's not going to happen. Here, double play to end it.
4-6-3. Inning over. Double play ball kills the rally. Indians down a run through 7.
sections of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Now it's a 5-4 Angels lead. Little late inning dessert run right there. And now here in the 8th inning, Indians go to left-hander Rafael Perez. He'll face Eric Ibar, Sean Figgins, Bobby Abreu. He's had a rough year, but the Indians felt like his last time out in that second game in Minnesota, he threw the ball pretty well. Did not in the first game, but second time around threw the ball better. And hey, bottom line is, if a guy's on your team, if he's in your bullpen, you got to use him.
Well, there's a guy that the last 2 years was the main man. One of them's coming out of that bullpen as a setup guy. He hasn't done it this year, but you know you gotta get him back to where he once was. And if that's going out and pitching it, then do it.
And that's the bottom line. They feel like, they being Eric Wedge, Carl Willis, the only way he's going to get back to that where he was is to go out there and pitch his way through it.
Was he has not been able to get left-handers out. So what's Eric do today with all the switch hitters that the Angels have? All right, instead of hitting these guys left-handed, let him flip them over, let him hit right-handed. Now he'll get a chance to pitch against right-handers, and he's better against right-handers now than he is left-handers. And right now you're looking for one more zero because they came so close again. In a big 7th inning where they had an opportunity to at least tie it, if not take the lead. And the Angels dodged another bullet.
5-4, hits even 11 apiece. Angels have left 9, Indians have left 8. So there's been equal frustration on both sides.
Well, that was the best opportunity either team had since that 3rd inning.
Swung on and missed.
There's a good slider.
Perez strikes out Ibar, 1 down. Here are the results of the Alltel text poll question of the game. A little trivia. We were looking for the Angels home run leader this decade. 30% going for Vladimir Guerrero. He's the only one still active among this group in an Angels uniform anyway. Garrett Anderson, though, is your winner. 200 home runs this decade. Garrett Anderson with the Atlanta Braves. And the last check, the Braves were still very much alive for a postseason berth. They're 5.5 games out in the NL East, but they've also got wild card aspirations as they are just 3 games back, but there are 4 teams fighting for that wild card in the NL.
Yeah, that's interesting. And they're, 1, 2, 3 out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. That should go down to the wire.
Popped him up. Right field. Chew. 2 down.
Well, Thursday, when the Indians take on the Mariners, first game of that series, it's going to be student ID night. And bring your student ID and receive half off upper reserved, upper box, lower reserved, or bleacher tickets. Visit an Indians team shop or an Indians.com for tickets. And I take that back because it's the last game of this series.
Bobby Abreu, left-handed hitter, looks at a ball. You look at the National League and the divisions. Phillies lead by 6 games in the loss column over the Marlins. The Cardinals and Dodgers both have a 4-game lead in the loss column in their divisions. Ground ball towards second. Valbuena will throw him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Angels, and Rafael Perez indeed has a good outing here tonight. 5-4, Angels in front, bottom of the 8th inning. Boy, everybody's making a late inning dessert run, and they're killing us up here.
Well, then maybe they feel it's going to go extra innings, and they need a little more sugar. They need that sugar buzz.
Extra innings, huh? That's what you're calling tonight?
Well, I said maybe they think it is. Well, the Indians are coming in. They've got 6 outs to go.
Valbuena takes a strike. 1-1 to count.
That's not my call. You know me, I never hope for extra innings.
Why do in 12 or 13 what you can do in 9?
You can do in 9. That's exactly right.
Valbuena fouls it back.
Sometimes it just goes that way. You end up playing extra innings.
Texas still leads Minnesota 5-1 in the bottom of the 5th in Arlington. White Sox now trail Kansas City 5-4 in the bottom of the 5th. Valbuena foul tipped it into the glove of Napoli, 1 down. Kevin Jepsen gets his second strikeout.
Well, an Indians game always makes a great group outing, and groups of 25 or more receive discounts of up to half off ticket prices. Call 216-420-HITS and organize your group outing today.
Well, after falling behind Seattle, Detroit came back in their half of the 8th to take a 5-3 lead.
Did they really?
But now Seattle has runners 2nd and 3rd in the 9th against Fernando Rodney. So that one's going right down to the wire, I'm sure.
It always seemed like that guy's got 2nd and 3rd, you know? I mean, he's had a great year.
Yes, he has, but he's got faith in that changeup.
I don't know if he's put the guys on base, but against the Indians when we faced him, he certainly has.
If Al doesn't have an update for us, stay tuned. The Conrad's postgame show after we wrap things up, he'll have all the highlights for you. Wyatt Torregas 0 for 3 tonight. Strike called to the outside edge. Just missed. That was close. And Wyatt takes it 2-2. Another look at this 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, you can't hit it. You might as well take it and hope that umpire calls it a ball, and he did.
Fouled away. Kevin Jepsen trying to pitch through this 8th inning, and it will be interesting, Rick, if this score stays this same way in the 9th inning, if we see Brian Fuentes, who is yet to retire an Indians batter this year, the Angels closer. In 2 outings against the Tribe, he hasn't recorded an out.
Well, that's true. Maybe that's what they need.
And the 2-2. High, full count. Mike Scioscia watched his club jump out to a 5-1 lead after 2.5 innings, but the Indians have clawed their way back to within a run. Ground ball to short. Ibar throws out Torregas, 2 down. Well, it's the final. Fernando Rodney hung on, and the Tigers hold off the Mariners 5-3. So regardless of what Chicago does tonight, Detroit will maintain at least a 2-game lead in the division. And Chicago will have to come from behind against Kansas City to avoid falling further behind. Swung on and missed. Andy Marte had a chance to tie this game up back in the 6th inning with a runner at second base and 2 outs. He flew out to deep left field.
Well, a little surprised here. He has Trevor Crowe available on that bench tonight from the left side. This is a tough matchup for Marte. But the Indians haven't used a pinch hitter since the 28th of July.
And a one-hop smash knocked down by Figgins. Throws low, dug out on the other end. Indians go 1-2-3. We'll go to the 9th. Angels in front by a run. Angels have never trailed tonight. They scored in the top of the first inning. They added 2 more in the second. The Indians scored a run in the bottom of the second, and they got 2 more in the top of the third, so they were up 5-1. Indians got 2 in the bottom of the third, 1 in the bottom of the seventh. But along the way, they have watched some golden opportunities slip through their fingers, and now Jess Todd will try to hold the Angels scoreless here in the 9th and give the Indians offense one last chance to rally. Indians bullpen, give them their due. They've done a nice job tonight.
Yes, they have. Boy, they've come in and they've done a nice job. Jensen Lewis went 2 innings, gave up a hit. Perez went an inning, didn't allow anything with a strikeout. Lewis had a strikeout. So, yeah, they've kept it right there for 3 innings and given that offense a chance to get back into this game.
Juan Rivera 0 for 4 tonight. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Jess Todd. Checked on the ball down low. Fausto Carmona did give up 5 runs. Only 3 of those were earned runs. And along the way, he stranded 7 runners. So it could have been much worse. That's the point. Because the Angels came out with a great game plan against Carmona. They were patient. They made him work. And even when he got ahead in the count, they still were patient. A lot of those 0-2 counts became 3-2 counts. Swung on and missed. And Jess Todd gets a strikeout. 1 down here in the 9th.
Well, he comes right at him, had him reach, went 1 breaking ball inside, then gets him to chase 1 out of the zone away for a strikeout. That is the 6th strikeout of an Angel hitter tonight. You got 9? Maybe I didn't count any.
You might have missed a couple.
Yeah, I might have.
Here's a ball punched into right center field. Chu coming hard, lost it in the lights. And it's going to drop for a hit. Chu came in and then he pulled the ripcord and bailed because I'm assuming he just flat out lost it. I don't think he had it. Once it got in the lights, he couldn't see it at all.
Well, sometimes with a ball that's hit off the end like that and you're running that ball right into the lights, it never comes out.
So 1 on, 1 out now for Kendry Morales. Yeah, because I was going to say, Rick, as good a hitting lineup as the Angels have. All the great averages, all the great numbers. 9 strikeouts for Indians pitching tonight. That's a pretty decent job.
Yes, it is.
Fausto struck out 4. Jensen Lewis struck out 3.
You go back, it's the unearned runs, boy. That one inning where you give a good team extra outs, and they ended up putting 2 on the board. And look at it. Comes back to bite you.
In the air center field, Grady Sizemore, 2 down. Torrey Hunter will be the batter. He's 1 for 4 tonight. He singled in the 7th, 0 for 3 before that with a strikeout. You know, we started talking about it earlier, never really got to it, as you see the Angels closer, Fuentes, loosening up. With a patient hitting veteran lineup like the Angels have, Hunter with a base hit into right field, and Guerrero is going to stop at second. So 2 on, 2 out now for Mycier Esturez. I think back to those mid to late 90s when the Indians would play the Yankees with their veteran lineup or the Red Sox with their veteran lineup. Those games seemed like they lasted an eternity because hitters were 2-1, 3-1, 3-2.
Yeah, deep in the count, a lot of runs.
Off good pitches, and each at bat seemed to take a long time. And those were lengthy games when those two teams would hook up.
Go to the bullpen a lot. And us, defensively, we'd make an error, then we'd hit a 3-run home run to make up for it.
2 on, 2 out for Mycier Esturez, 1 for 4 tonight. And Todd fires a strike in there. The 0-1. In the dirt, good stop by Wyatt Torregas. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. There's a big spot in the game right here for Jess Todd, trying to hold the Angels off, keep it a 1-run game.
Yes, indeed. That would certainly help.
Indians have the top of the order, 2 up in the bottom of the 9th. Grady Sizemore will lead it off for Cleveland. But now Todd 1 pitch away from loading the bases with Mike Napoli on deck. Comes back with a strike, full count. So everybody moves on the 3-2 pitch with 2 down here, top of the 9th. Todd's payoff pitch is ball 4, and they're loaded. And Mike Napoli will be the batter. He is 2 for 3 tonight with 2 singles, a walk, and a run scored. And here comes Carl Willis. Well, by all rights, Todd should be out of the inning. But the ball Guerrero hit that got hung up in the lights dropped for what was obviously ruled a hit, but he should be sitting in the dugout right now, but that's the breaks of the game sometimes.
Well, this is a big out, boy. You don't want to let him add on. Bullpen has done such a great job this evening. Looking for a 4th straight inning. If they could put a 0 on the board.
Napoli, he's ripping away. Strike 1 on the foul back. Just tied now with the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Good off-speed pitch. Napoli was aggressively going after it.
Well, he had such a good swing at the first pitch. He figured, I'm going to see another one. See you later. You pull the string. Let him swing at something that's not there. Throw him another one.
Bases full of Angels. 2 down, 9th inning. 0-2 pitch. Bouncer, foul, third base side.
But you're not necessarily for a strike.
This Angel club has won 21 of its last 28 games. They lead 5-4 here in the 9th. Trying to really break the game open now. And the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. Just Todd gets the strikeout. He fans a pair, and the Angels leave them loaded. Last chance for the Indians coming up next. Well, bottom of the 9th, fast and furious. We go to the finish line. Indians down a run. Grady Sizemore, Jamie Carroll, Asdrubal Cabrera will bat for the Tribe. Left-hander Brian Fuentes will come on and try to close it out for the Angels. 34 saves and 39 chances.
But you remember when we were out in L.A., he came on. He had not blown a save since May 30th. And the Indians come to town on July 27th. He blew his 4th save. He did not retire a batter. On the 4 hitters, they had 4 hits. They scored 4 runs. Remember, it was the back-to-back home runs by Victor and Johnny. Ended up blowing that save. The Indians go on to win. They had him on the ropes the next night. So he's faced 8 Indian hitters in his 2 outings and hasn't retired a 1.
The next night, he was pitching so poorly that Mike Scioscia gave him the hook.
Yeah, he did. He pulled him out, absolutely.
And it's rare that you ever see a manager take his closer out of a game before he's already blown it or given it up. Well, Mike Scioscia went and hooked him. And
yes, he
the
did.
Angels ended up getting out of it and getting the win.
Tell you what, most managers wouldn't have done that. Scioscia did.
2-0 the count.
You know, and it's got to be in the back of this guy's mind. I don't care how good you are. But, you know, you face this one team, they come get you. I'd love to see that first guy get on board.
Oh, yeah.
That way now, that'll get the wheels really turning.
There's a strike, 2-1. Now, Fuentes, not an overpowering guy. He's one of those closers who just gets hitters to mishit the ball, hit it on the ground, hit it at fielders. Doesn't have a blazing fastball.
Well, they signed him. When K-Rod left and signed with the Mets, he came over from Colorado. Look at this.
Blooper on the infield, and a nice running catch by Eric Ibar. Well, that will loosen some of the pressure around Brian Fuentes.
I thought that ball was going to fall.
That was an odd-looking ball.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to fall over his head, but he got deep into the kitchen. He's got to come in and make a backhanded stab right before it hits the ground.
All right, so Jamie Carroll, 1 for 4 tonight, will be the hitter. And a strike is called. Carroll and Fuentes, former teammates in Colorado. In the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Conrad's postgame show comes your way immediately following our game tonight. Jamie Carroll saw some of the best years in Fuentes' career when he was the Rockies closer. Ground ball up the middle, fielded cleanly by Izturis, throws him out. 2 down. Time now for our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game.
No doubt, the Indians bullpen tonight able to put zeros on the board for 4 innings, allow just 3 hits, 6 punch-outs. A terrific job by Jensen Lewis, Rafael Perez, and Jess Todd.
As Dribble Cabrera will try to get aboard, keep the Indians' hopes alive as he fouls it straight back. Cabrera, 3 hits on the night. He continues to really tear it up offensively. He's hit in 12 straight games now. Hit in 23 of his last 25. Down low. $18,341 our attendance tonight here at Progressive Field. Same 2 teams tomorrow night and again on Thursday night. All 7:05 starts here at Progressive Field. 1-1. Bouncing ball up the middle. It's into center field, and the tying run is aboard with 2 out here in the ninth.
That's exactly what you wanted to see, that tying run aboard. Cabrera has just been red hot. He has 4 base hits tonight. A little sinker down and away, right back up the middle.
And now Shin-Soo Choo, 2 for 3 tonight. 2 singles, a walk, and a run scored. And Fuentes floats it in there for a strike.
Well, that outfield playing very deep, trying to cut off any doubles, keep that tying run from scoring at home plate. About as deep as you can get.
And a liner to second, caught by Torres, and that'll do it. Now the Angels survive and win it 5-4 to take the series opener.